Okay, so today we are checking out the POC Tectal Race Spin. This is their flagship helmet. It's the Enduro all-mountain helmet. It's got a number of high-tech protective features built into it. But the best thing about it is we're giving 5 of these away to you guys. So you're gonna have to wait till the end of the video to find out. In the meantime, let's get into the nitty-gritty. So first up, let's look at some of the technology on the inside that actually protects your skull. Now the first thing is it's got the Aramid Bridge system. So imagine this as a web, basically it's bonded to the EPS liner on the inside to keep this as one solid structure. So that's our ultimate protection for your skull. And when you do suffer a bad accident, it does mean that the inside of the helmet is going to stay together and stay on your head. So the Aramid weave itself is actually unbreakable, and that is bonded to that EPS liner. Now the next thing, of course, is the spin system. Now that stands for shearing pad inside technology. Now these blue pads on the inside might not look anything special to you, but they actually allow a rotational force on the inside of the helmet and help protect against rotational or oblique injuries. So the whole concept of that is if your head strikes the floor at a slight angle, the helmet can move slightly against your head without actually giving extra trauma to your skull, because the research does suggest that as well as linear impacts which transfer force directly to the brain, it's actually those rotational forces that actually cause bigger long-term injuries, and this system is specifically designed to help reduce that. Now this pad system is very unique to other helmet pads, and in fact it actually allows it to slide against itself, but it doesn't interfere with the fit of the helmet. Now the really smart thing about this system is, of course, it's washable, but it's already part of the helmet. It's something that's already existed on the inside of the helmets. Nothing extra has gone in there, so the fit is exactly the same as it always has been, which in this case is exceptional. And in addition to the spin system, which forms that protective barrier between your head and the helmet itself, of course, against those rotational impacts, of course, the cradle system. So it's got a 3-position system up and down at the back there, and it's got a dial on the back just for dialing into your shaped head. It's a very comfortable system and can be tailor fitted to pretty much most size and shaped heads. This helmet particularly fits me really well. I've got a bit of a lump on the back of my head and it actually goes around it perfectly, which is something I have struggled with on some designs in the past. So this one's definitely a winner from my eyes. Now on the outside of the lid is this fully wrapped unibody shell system, which as well as giving additional strength to the helmet, it actually gives it this really nice high-end finish as well. Now, of course, it's got a great fit that covers the back of your head, something you do see on a lot of Enduro style helmets for good reason, to protect that back of your head. And of course, one of the things that those helmets do tend to suffer with is the ventilation, because protection, of course, is the bigger factor in the equation. Now on this particular helmet there's 15 intake vents and exhaust vents, and they are absolutely huge, as you can see, but the positioning of them and combined with the visor with those scoops to really pull that air into the helmet work incredibly. It's actually far more like wearing a cross-country helmet than wearing a helmet with such protection. Now the peak itself has alloy hardware on there with a little thumb wheel here you can get to, fully adjustable up and down to get it in your desired position, and it's a fully integrated part of the helmet. On many other helmets you see they look like they're just kind of something that bolts on, but it's actually an integral part of it that really does help funnel the air straight into the front of your head. It's a great effect. Now being aimed at the aggressive all-mountain and enduro field, you'll be pleased to see that on the back is a rubber O-ring style system for retaining the goggles onto the helmet. It's a really neat system, really easy to just flick on and off, whether you're at the side of the trail or you want to get this ready beforehand. And as you can see, a set of goggles actually fits beautifully with the front of the helmet there. The whole shape of it is designed to work perfectly with them. And finally, it has the Reco system on here, which is a reflector system that's built into the helmet. Not for night vision or anything like that. It's actually so mountain rescue can help find you should you get into trouble when you're out in the mountains. Now, the Reco reflector system is something we've seen in skiing and snowboarding for some time, as well as some other mountain sports. So it's a very welcome addition to a mountain biking helmet, of course, because you will find yourself, hopefully, out in the middle of nowhere from time to time. And knowing that the emergency services can easily find you in huge areas of terrain is a really reassuring thing to have as part of the helmet. Now, on a personal note, I love the fact that you have got that increased coverage on the back of the head. It's a really important factor. And of course, the Aramid Bridge system in there is another great feature on POC helmets. but combining that with maximum ventilation means you have got a helmet that does vent like a cross-country helmet, but with that protection, really does give you the best of both worlds. If you want to find out how you can win one of 5 of these bad boy helmets, click the link in the description below this video and you could be riding away with one of these on your head. If you want to find out some more about POC helmets, check out the factory tour where Neil and Blake went to visit them in Sweden, just up there. Great video that, really cool, bit of Martin Soderstrom action in there too. And of course, if you like POC helmets and looking after your head, give us a thumbs up.